What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey672 coming to you guys with a video right now. So I want to go over Jonathan Gannon had his press conference. We've been waiting months for this and kind of to find out, what system is Jonathan Gannon going to run, what we could take out of it. So I watched this whole press conference and I was pretty impressed, actually. A little bit different from Jim Schwartz. Obviously, a little background, Jonathan Gannon. I think he played for Louisville. I forgot what school he played for, but I know he was a player back in college. I think it was like freshman year, and then I think he messed up his hip. He had hip replacement surgery, and then really just started his coaching tree and started moving up from there. And then got into the NFL, worked for Mike Zimmer, and obviously, really trusted Mike Zimmer and really liked his defense and how he disguised things, but obviously used their players to their strengths. But obviously with this defense, a lot of things were answered. But, first of all, he came to Philadelphia because of the coaching staff that was in place. And secondly, he pretty much said it's Philadelphia. Who wouldn't want to coach here? You know what I mean? And obviously it's a very tough city. Obviously his wife wanted to move to the East Coast. Love City is one of the best cities in the world. So obviously a lot went into that, but knowing this defense, obviously, talked about Ryan Kerrigan and how he's a good character on and off the field and is going to help this. And obviously he pushed, the Eagles to sign Ryan Kerrigan pretty quickly. Obviously it was on the DL. No one really knew about it. Kind of came out of surprise. And just talked about this defense. I'm going to try to go as much as I can to say that, obviously defensive line will be in rotation. There might be some times where this defense might, their defensive linemen might read and react. You might have defensive ends that might read and react and just pin their ears back and pretty much go after the quarterback. But I think one thing that when he was hired for this job as defensive coordinator to Nick Sirianni, he was asked a question, what type of scheme are you running? And he said, I don't have a scheme, because what happens is, every coach has a scheme and you play that scheme every single game. Now, Jonathan Gannon has a different way in doing this, because he's not only just going to play a scheme, but he wants to play a scheme that's going to move guys around, that it's going to fit players to their strengths. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. I feel like I'm listening to Nick Sirianni, but he's a defensive coach. I feel like I'm hearing the same thing. Fundamentals, competition, and obviously accountability, and using the players to their strengths. That's what's really important right now. Obviously it's too early. You can't get into who's going to be on the field, who's starting, blah, blah, blah. He thinks it's a very talented defense. I mean, he has high hopes for this defense this year. And I don't think he's just saying it. He says he has a very big group of diverse players that have different skill sets. He said that pretty much, we have to wait and see. We have to see what these players have, what their abilities are, and then really you put them in good situations. So really, Jonathan Gannon says he's going to be scheming, and obviously this is how every defense does it, but because he says it, I do believe it, that he's going to be scheming against offenses depending on weapons that they have. That, they're not just going to line up and play your defense. That's why I thought Doug did last year, Doug just ran his offense last year. He didn't scheme against the defense. He just ran his offense, see what would work, and had no idea what was going on. You have guys like Nick Sirianni and now Jonathan Gannon that are going to move players around, and obviously between matchups, depending on who's playing on offense, how many weapons are you facing, certain plays that they do, it depends what they're doing. And obviously I think it's a nice balance between man and press coverage, man-to-man or zone coverage, but I think he likes to do more zone, and obviously work these guys to their skill sets. I mean, this defense on Jonathan Gannon, he says that it's 11 guys getting to the football, and obviously being in good position to get turnovers. And it's going to be a very, you're going to play smart. You're not just going to, like this. This is why the Jim Schwartz defense it worn off a little bit. So I think that, this defense is going to change when it comes to linebacker blitzes, a lot more blitzes, obviously depending on your defensive line, which, we're definitely going to do, but keeping guys fresh, every 5 plays with however he does the rotation every single week. And obviously, the coverage wise, what they're doing scheme wise with these cornerbacks, and obviously using these corners in different ways. If it's like Mike Zimmer's defense, as he says, not 100%, he takes some different things from other coaches, but obviously Mike Zimmer was the main reason of what he takes most of what he gets out of a defense and how he's going to use some of these guys. So he might disguise another coverage in the beginning or let certain players actually disguise themselves, what they're doing on the field to make it look like something else, because I know that Harrison Smith and some of these other guys for that Vikings defense used to do that. They used to do that. I know Frank Reich did a video on that about the Vikings, disguising a lot of things in Mike Zimmer's defense. And obviously, wasn't supposed to be that way. And then obviously it turns into a whole nother play. So I like the fact that Jonathan Gannon is going to, is not just running his defense, it's my way, and it's not his way or the highway. Like, he's going to let guys, obviously players and obviously other coaches, put in, game plans for the week, and obviously have, before, we faced our next opponent, obviously put their notes together, and then players obviously want to do different things that think that will work during games. So players, not only that coaches have feedback on this defense, but players will have feedback on how they line up and how they want to cover and how they want to, depending on matchups. If a player knows a certain player on offense that they know how to defend them, they might bring it to the coach, say, hey, I think we could do it better this way. So, I'm not no defensive guru or anything like that, but I definitely see a difference on where Jonathan Gannon is taking this defense into account, which I'm really happy about. But I think one of the most important thing is it's a collaborative effort defense. And number two, he's not just running his defense every week. He's not just running one scheme. He's doing multiple things depending on matchups. That's what I like. Okay. He watched some tape on the defense last year. I mean, he says out of 5, he gave a 5 being the best effort. He thought this team had a really good effort last year, but obviously people put in the wrong place, things just happening. Obviously, respect does go to Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz did win us a Super Bowl, had one of the best pass rushes in 2017. 2018 was good, and then obviously have fell off ever since then. But obviously, it goes in more than drafting and everything else like that. So, like I said, what I like about Jonathan Gannon's defense is he's going to use his players the same way I said about Nick Sirianni, using his offensive players using them to their strengths. He's going to be using every single player, and some guys will come off the field, some guys will get on the field. It just depends in this defense what they're doing, but the coverages will be disguised, they'll be shown later on, and they're gonna be more smart. They're not just gonna pin, defensive linemen aren't just gonna pin their ears back and just go after the quarterback. I'm not saying it's a 3-4, but they're gonna mix it, around, and I like the balance, and I like that. Sometimes maybe it will be a 3-4. Sometimes they might change it. Maybe they'll have a 4-3, but they'll just change, they'll change and disguise coverages. I have no idea, but using players to their strengths, guys, and making sure that they're not going to put a player, and what Jonathan Gannon said, he's not going to put a player in position to where he is going to fail, and know that that player has a weakness. Obviously having Nathan Gary on the field last year every single game, and you're just not caring about what's going on because he's blowing games for you. So like I said, that I think that's really important, guys. Like if they think a certain player can't react to something that's going to happen with a certain offense that we face during the year, is not going to put him in that situation where he's going to fail. They're going to take the players that know how they're going to do it, and they're going to do things a different way. Use every player to their strength. It may not be the way that you want it to be, but using them to. It's really confusing how to say it. But if you guys could, know what I think it relates to the offense as well when you're using players to their strengths. I know I've been repeating myself a million times, but I kind of know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to explain it the best way possible. But like I said, not going to put a player in a bad situation on this defense. A good starter, if they have a weakness in something, it is what it is. You know what I mean? They might not put that player in that position. You know what I mean? So I think Jonathan Gannon is going to put his hands on all these guys, cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers, a lot of competition. And he likes bringing in those high IQ smart guys. Talked about the linebacker position. Talked about Anthony Harris, free agent acquisition from the Vikings as a safety, and obviously Eric Wilson at linebacker. Smart guys on and off the field, high football IQs, and put these guys in the right positions to get turnovers. 11 guys to the ball. You know what I mean? That's what you want here. So I I really did like how he said, I like how he's not running like a specific scheme. It's going to be a mix of a lot of different things, which I do like, which doesn't make our defense too predictable, which I do like too. So, I liked what he had to say. I was pretty impressed. I've been waiting for this press conference for so long, and I had to sit. I think it was over 20 minutes. It was a while because there's a lot to go over with this defense. We don't know what's going on. So, once we get the pads on and start hitting and doing some stuff like that, we'll see what happens. But this video's, been over 10 minutes, but I don't want to keep you guys. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about Jonathan Gannon and how do you think about, how he's going to have this defense and using players to their strengths and all that good stuff. Just let me know what you guys think about Jonathan Gannon, his press conference today. I was really impressed. I think he have a very good technical developmental, sorry, I can't talk today. A developmental coaching staff. That really takes into account, like, it's not just I'm just running my defense and your guys are going to run it the way I want it and that's it. Now they are micromanaging every player's strengths and weakness and really putting it into the game and going to make this right. So I'm pumped for a coaching staff that are underdogs, that want to strive to be the best and show the league what they're all about. I mean, this is a coaching staff that wants to prove themselves in 2021. Brand new coaching staff for the Eagles. So I'm very happy with Jonathan Gannon. I like his attitude. I definitely see even some of the video, they put out some mic'd up moments, and he seems like he's gonna be very energetic with this defense, which I'm really excited for. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Shakes code up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.